Hey, what's up guys? My name is Fugler. In this video I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Genji's curve boosting mechanic. Hopefully you guys aren't too tired of seeing this by now. I know some other people have posted about it, but in this video I made sure to include a good amount of footage from the perspective of another player. I know a lot of people were asking to see that. The person I was testing this with was my friend biblestudy. I'll link his channel in the description. So getting right into this, the first thing I want to talk about is what we learned about how to replicate and how to even begin to harness this effect. We only tested this for a few hours, so obviously there's probably a lot more to learn about it, but I'd say I did make one very important observation. So when you curve around a surface or an object, it almost always seems to send you around the direction of the curve you dash at. So if there is a surface that curves to the left, and you dash at the corner, it will send you to the left. When you dash at the top of an object, it will almost always send you downwards, following the curve of the top of the object. The reason that this is pretty important is that it allows you to kind of predict which direction you're going to be sent in, and depending on the angle, how fast you'll be going. Like Bible and I would load up into a map and run around and we'd see something and we would go, there's got to be something to do with that. Or there'd be a certain skip we'd want to do. Maybe we may want to jump through a certain window, or we want to go over past a certain building, thinking about what are important places to put yourself as Genji in a match. And we could usually find a way to create the effect or the jump that we were looking for. So this not only will make it easier to find the most effective uses for this behavior, but also it kind of demonstrates the consistency of it. That this is something that can be practiced, it can be replicated, and it isn't just luck or something that will send you off in a random crazy direction. Though there are some objects that are irregular and do seem to do that. So moving on to the next thing that I'd like to talk about is something I've already seen a lot of people discussing, and that's, is this overpowered? Does this make Genji stronger than he should be? Should this mechanic be removed? At this point, it's really hard to say. I personally have not used this in game to any large extent, and I don't think anyone else has, so it's hard to say what the real implications for this mechanic will be. In my professional opinion, though, I don't think that this makes Genji any stronger than he already is. You can certainly do a lot of crazy, ridiculous jumps with this, but we were specifically looking for jumps that we believed would be effective in a real game, and all the ones we could find were already things that Genji could already do with his vanilla movement mechanics. So run, double jump, wall climb, and the regular dash without any curving. Albeit maybe a little more slowly, maybe a little more exposed, and maybe not quite as smooth as can be done with these curve boosted jumps. You know, it's not like this is Zarya or a Roadhog, for example, flying around the map, reaching flanks that they would otherwise not be able to. It's a character who's already highly mobile, and this just makes him a little bit more mobile. And the only way any player is going to get any substantial mileage out of this mechanic is if they consistently practice various jumps and actually get them down so that they can replicate them over and over and over. Because Genji's jump is on a high cooldown and you only get one. If you mess it up, or if it sends you where you don't want to be, chances are you're probably going to die. So it's not like a new player could jump in as Genji and do some of these curve boosts and carry games or wipe enemy teams. In fact, and I've included a few of these clips in the video you've probably seen, a lot of times this gets you killed, or it puts you really high up in the air where you're exposed, or it puts you in a place where you don't want to be. So it goes to show, if you don't know what you're doing with this, like we didn't because we were experimenting, you can't really use it for anything, at least not consistently. So this isn't really going to be an issue, I don't think, for new players or casual players or public matches. This is going to only be an issue at high-level play with really, really good Genjis who get good at this and can do it consistently. And since there's nobody at that level yet, again, it is hard to say. But I think this adds a lot of depth to the character, and it's probably the most skill-based movement mechanic in the game so far. But I do hope Blizzard leaves this in. In fact, I would even prefer for them to have the distance on his regular dash and let him keep this, so that his dash scales strongly with how skilled the player is. I think a lot of people do want to see mechanics and abilities that require skill or have a very high skill cap. So yeah, we'll just have to see what the future holds for this. I'm definitely going to be practicing it more, and If I learn anything new or if I get good at it, I will post another follow-up video. So I don't think this makes him OP. What I think would make him OP is if they made him able to throw shurikens fully automatically. So I will leave you with this. Thanks for watching.